Yes guys, welcome back to another video. So today I actually managed to hit my PR on bench press, so I was working with Harry. Let's jump into this video. So right here Harry's just showing that he wants me to do 2 warm-up sets with 60 kilos and just 2 reps, so I'm gonna jump into it. And I got to admit the 60 kilo felt quite easy going up, and yeah, it looks like he's helping, but he's actually not touching the bar so much. He's just there in case I fail. So what we do is we do 2 warm-up sets of 2 reps, basically just getting myself used to a weight. And as you can see, it's quite nice and easy, nice up and down, really easy, and it felt really light for a change actually. Here's a second warm-up set at 60 kilos, and I got to admit I'm feeling a lot stronger, a lot fitter, and I'm really glad I decided to work with Harry because he's there to basically help me, and he's really great at supporting and making sure I'm doing it correctly. So now we just jump into a first one of 3 working sets, and basically my PR before was I done 2 sets of 6 at 60, and then I couldn't get a third set, so we dropped it back down to 50. So today I was able to get 3 sets of 6 out. And now we're on to a second working set, and as you can see I'm making sure I've got a nice little arch in my back to give me that extra bit of power, and it's going up quite easy at the moment. And I got to admit I was feeling really strong. I made sure I had a good breakfast, that's really important. I had enough calories in me to make it a lot easier. So this is the third and final set of 60 kilo bench, and I admit I was a little bit nervous to start off with, and I was feeling a little bit fatigued, hence why the bar's moving a bit slower, but I made sure I grinded them out because it's all about slowly progressing. Even if it's not weight your progression, you can progress by adding on more reps or adding in more sets. So here's a technique Harry showed me. It's a reverse grip bench press. Basically it brings your elbows in closer, and it's more a tricep dominant bench press. It's really effective, and it makes it a lot harder, so you're not able to bench as much as you would with a standard bench press. So now we move on to a seated military press. This is a really good way to activate your shoulders, and it also gets a bit of chest into it as well, and just making sure I've got a right range of movement here. And we're also supersetting this with a seated shoulder press with dumbbells, so it's basically making sure I'm getting enough volume and intensity by supersetting it. It's a really good thing to do if you've not got much time, you can superset. So moving on to the shoulder press with dumbbells, and as you can tell I'm already pre-exhausted from a previous exercise, and this is 16 kilos each dumbbell we're doing, and you can see all the muscles working in the chest and the shoulders. That's why I like wearing a vest top to a gym, because you can actually see all the muscles you activate. And yeah, look, I'm struggling a bit here, but even if you're struggling you should persist to make sure you're getting all the reps in. So now what we do is, for our last set we switch it up. So we start with a dumbbell press, and then we go into military press. It's basically a different way of shocking the muscles, so this way my shoulders are not already pre-fatigued, so I can get the reps out cleaner and a bit more better. But I admit I'm still a little bit fatigued from obviously working out all this time before, but just making sure I've got to push through it and getting in the right intensity, never giving up, and that's the main thing to do. You should just always push yourself, and I admit Harry does help with the last rep, but on the negative I slow down a lot more to add extra resistance. Like I said, we switch it around, so after doing the dumbbell press with the shoulders, we now move back into military press on the Smith machine. This is basically for a bit of extra safety, and as you can see I'm concentrating on really slow eccentric to add in a bit more extra stress and tension on the muscles, and it's another way to apply progressive overload because you're slowing the tempo right down. making sure you've gotten the full stretch on the muscles. And the last one was a bit of a squeeze, but I got it out. So we're now moving on to working triceps here with a close grip bench press, and basically Harry's just making sure I've got the right position in here, making sure my elbows are at a 90-degree angle, and here he's like, I just need to move a bit on the bench. And as you can see, it's a little bit awkward to get it right, but afterwards making sure we're getting a full range of movement. And yeah, it's basically a really good exercise because it isolates your triceps and it causes such a burn once you start repping it out. After this, we move on to a dumbbell fly, and this is just the end of it. Basically, I was trying to hit 10 reps. I failed. I got to 8. So what I did, I had a 20-30 second rest, and then I got the last 2 reps out. I didn't want to show you the first bit because it was a little bit boring and it would make the video too long. So I'm just showing you getting the last couple of reps out, and as you can see, I'm really fatigued at the moment, but just pushing through, making sure I get the last couple of reps, not selling myself short, because that's the worst thing to do. If you go to a gym and you want to make sure you've got proper intensity, don't sell yourself short. So here we move into a Arnold press. This is a good way to hit your rotator cuffs and all of your shoulder muscles. It will hit your front delt, your side delts, and I think I was doing it with a bit of a too heavy weight at the moment, because as you can see, my form is not exactly perfect. I'm not getting a full rotation. So we dropped our weight and then did it again. This really helps with your core as well, because you're trying to keep yourself balanced up right, and I got to admit it was too heavy of a weight for me, so we done another set with a lighter weight and my form was a lot better. So now we're moving into a second to last exercise, a cable fly, and this is a really good isolation movement for your chest. It gives you a nice good stretch, and yeah, a lot of people don't have a little bend in the knees, so they are off balance. That's one thing Harry was making sure I did, was having nice soft knees, because you've got all your body weight on your back foot really, and it's just a safer way of doing the exercise. And we were just making sure we were focusing on the correct form here, and just a cheeky little bicep flex at the end because I was feeling a bit pumped up. And then we move into another exercise not a lot of people do, is a hang. This works so many of your arm muscles, because just because it's a static movement, people think it's not activating your muscles, but it's a really good way to stretch and also activate all of your muscles, because you get a really good burn from it. So this is the last couple exercises we do. We make it a little circuit, so triceps to biceps, and I got to admit, this was a hell of a circuit. I ended up doing 60 reps on each exercise, so I'd done 2 sets of 10 on each triceps extensions with another 10 sets on bicep curls, and you see, I'll speed it up a little bit, otherwise it's going to be quite a lot of time spent watching me just do normal exercises. So yeah, I'm not gonna lie, at the end of this I was absolutely exhausted, as you can see. So yes guys, there's my workout done for the day, and basically I just want to say, as much as you're trying to improve your physique and your looks by getting bigger and stronger, there's two main things you should be making sure you're taking care of, and that is your heart by doing cardio and making sure your diet is on point, because if you don't have good health in your heart, it's pointless, because your heart is your main muscle really, so that's a main thing to keep healthy. And also your mental health. Your mental health is so important to keep in check, because once you go into that dark place, it's just a downward spiral. So please, I beg any of you, if you're struggling with mental health or you're just feeling a bit down, find someone to talk to, and there's a lot of help online. Or if you really feel like you need to, go see a doctor, because a lot of people feel like you're weak or you're not a strong enough person if you are feeling mentally down. But trust me, it takes a hell of a strong person to admit they're not mentally right. So I just hope you're feeling well and are having a good day, and I'll catch you in the next video.